Good afternoon and welcome to a very warm and sunny Latimer Park for this fantastic game against Harborough Town. Wow, we couldn't have asked for a bigger one so early on in the season. Both teams unbeaten, Poppies 4 out of 4, Harborough 3 and drawn 1. Should be an absolute classic. 3 games so far against them have been. Of course, the last meeting between the two sides was the semi-final victory on penalties, and it is going to be an absolute classic, I'm sure. I'll just go through the Kettering Town team for you. In goal is Alexander, captain Forsyth, George Forsyth, number 4, Archie Crowther, number 5, 6 is Will Glennon, 7 and in is Wes York, 8 Andy Thanodge, 9 Niall Ranger, 11 starting is Jamar Loza, 19 Kai Fifield and starting, 21 Brandon Barker and 22 Alfie Lewis. So there's going to be 4 changes overall in the Kettering squad. Levi Ando is the substitute, comes in at number 2. Shane Flynn, substitute 3. Leon Lobjot, who started at Real Bedford, is a substitute number 10. Connor Stanley, who started at Real Bedford, 14. And Eddie Apong, number 15. No place for Finn Corrigan in this side at the moment. And we'll get to the manager's thoughts on that after the game. Very, very busy indeed. And just looking out over there, looks like there's a medical problem in the stand over on the far side. We'll have a look at that. It's getting ready for both teams to come out. Referee today is Robert Peeling. That's his first game officiating the Poppies. And we hopefully will be an action-packed afternoon with Poppies victory at the end of it. Harborough, of course, got 6 Poppies in their squad. They'll come down a bit later. But we've had 3 games against them. We've drawn 1 here last season, a controversial penalty in the final moments of the game. Got a 1-1 draw and losing 2-1 at Harborough Town. And, of course, that 4-3 on penalties win in that semi-final. The Bees have met Needham Market, a 4-0 thrashing on the opening day of the season, with 2 ex-Poppies, Stevens and Kennedy, on the score sheet. Ben Stevens, leading goal scorer last season, is on the bench today for the Bees. They drew 1-1 at home in front of 610 against Spalding United. They beat Bury Town away 3-1, and on Saturday, a 2-0 win over St Ives Town, with Riley O'Sullivan getting 2 goals. He's the leading goal scorer on 3. The Bees sit in 4th place, 10 points from the 4 games. And, of course, this is the first of the big ones, really, for Kettering this season, and for Harborough, I would have thought, really, as the 2 teams are 2 of the favourites to gain automatic promotion. And Real Bedford, I thought were going to be in that category, but on the performance on Saturday, I thought Kettering really dominated Bedford and came away with 3 very valuable points indeed. So getting ready for the officials and teams to come out. Latter part looking resplendent in the summer light here. Ground though, the pitch looks very barren in places. Not enough rain has come down, so it's going to be very, very hard, and indeed it'll be very, very quick. And we're going to need to be at full alert on the pitch this afternoon. Mascots are lining up with their flags. And we're getting ready to start off this pitching in Southern League Premier Central game. Probably the big game of the afternoon. So, Doug, you're alongside me at the moment, on camera today, I believe, in the absence of Jez. That'd be an interesting one.
Indeed, so. Yes,
when
indeed.
We score.
Looking forward to it. What a game this is going to be, Cookie. I think it's an absolutely beautiful day here at Latimer Park, and the Harborough fans are segregated away to the left. We have a new scoreboard, which is showing 0-0 at the moment, as indeed it should. But yeah, Harborough bought 100 maybe even that. Cool. I don't know what you think, but
they were supposed to have sold around 400 tickets, I think, but doesn't look like that at the moment over there. And But a massive Kettering following, as you can see, on three sides of the ground, looking in red and black all over. The Harborough fans in the Morrison's or the ProSaw stand. The ProSaw stand, and it isn't packed. I'd have thought Harborough would have brought more. Mind you, we're still a few minutes away from kickoff, and I can see in the distance there's quite a few outside the ground in yellow. But Harborough are going to be vastly outnumbered this afternoon. And we've got Chase here from BBC Radio Northampton. Good to see you again. Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah, very well, thank you. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. What an occasion this is. Oh, it's going to be a good one, this, isn't it?
It should well be, shouldn't it? Obviously, you've been following the scores of the Poppies, 4 out of 4. This was the Premier game almost last season. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think this is going to be a early season-defining game for both sides. Of course, Harborough played 4, won 3, drew 1. Kettering just got the upper hand, playing 4 and winning 4. This one's going to really set the trajectory for both sides, I think.
It is. You look at the sides here. There's 3 Poppies on the substitute bench, and at least 2 of them in the starting lineup. 5 ex-Poppies, and Dolman always seems to do well against Kettering, albeit being at the age he is. He seems to be playing forever, hasn't he?
Yeah, and of course he's a Northampton boy, born in Northampton, boyhood club, played at Northampton Town. So he might have that little wants to get a bit over on the biggest side in Northampton. Let's be honest, he might want to do that.
Because he did have the one appearance for Kettering, which I always rub into wherever he's been. But yeah, he's played once there. Connor Kennedy, of course, got sent off against Kettering. Let's hope that happens again. And Ben Stevens scored 2 goals away last season, that 2-1 win at Harborough. He's on the subs bench. He was a good player for Kettering, but at the moment isn't firing on all cylinders.
No, at the moment, Ben Stevens, I mean, he's well, you know, it was a real talisman for the Bees last season, let's say. But not quite the same at the moment. I know it's early days, but let me just have a quick look at their bench again. I mean, they've got some strike force still within them at the moment. I mean, they've got, of course, Barwell legend Brady Hickey, Danny Newton, of course, he was a striker for Brackley Town. He's got promoted with Brackley from the National League North last season. They've got some strike force, and there's going to be a real close matchup between the two sides. I mean, if the playoff semi-final is anything to go off, there's not going to be much to tell these two sides apart, I don't think.
When you consider that Stenson's still with AFC Telford and Donnelly has gone on to pastures new, but Kettering have got the next 2 strikers in last season in Jamal Loza and Leon Lobjolt, who were the top strikers. So Kettering got 2 of the top 5 strikers. The 5th striker there is Ben Stevens on the bench. So striking-wise, it should be a goal fest.
I think hopefully it will be. You know, the strike force is what you want. We want to see goals in these games, don't we? We don't want to see
as long as they go one way.
Yeah, we want to see them on a red persuasion. Yeah. But games like this, big local rivalry, big local derby, beautiful sunny day, bank holiday football as well. Oh, you know, we're early on into the season. Both sides got the same ambition for this season. Both sides don't want to see the other one win as well. And at the moment, it couldn't be any more set for a good match today. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm very optimistic, and I do think Kettering Town are going to just have that edge today, especially with that Red Army behind them. It's going to be quite the match today.
Thank you, Chance. And you're here with your show later?
Yeah, we are 6 till 7. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Chance.
Cheers, Paul.
Well, we're ready for the teams to come out. Gary Foreman's joining me from his stint on the table down there. A lot of people in, Gary. It should be in a very good attendance.
Yeah, should be good attendance, lively atmosphere, people soaking up the warm sun, and boy, was it warm on the walk in today.
You walked?
Yeah, I always walk, unless it's peeing it down. I always drive on the evening games, so I have to get back a bit earlier, but no, it's a pleasant half-hour stroll normally, but it wasn't quite as pleasant today, but there we go. That's the warmth, won't knock it.
Well, the Harborough fans are finding their voice in the ProSource stand there, and doesn't look like they've sold 600, but certainly, what was the Klondike money like? How are we doing there? We get some idea of the gate with that, don't we?
Yeah, it was brisk trade, but yeah, you're right. There doesn't want to be 650 Harborough fans, but if they bought 650 tickets and paid for 650 tickets, that's all that matters.
Yeah, or could be. I'm going to go for 1,900 or something, I would think, for the gate this afternoon, which will be the highest league gate between the two sides. Of course, 2,700 plus in that semi-final not that long ago now, really, but yeah, we're going to look forward to should be a great game. Just go through the Kettering side again. Alexander in goal for side. Crowther, Glennon, York, Thanodge, Ranger, Loza, Fifield, Barker and Lewis. Harborough Town, Taylor, Carlyon, Putman, Dolman, Kennedy, Morris, Walsh, Hickey, O'Sullivan, Newton and Arlott John. Your subs for Kettering, Ando, Flynn, Lobjolt, Stanley and Oppong. For Harborough, the Bees, Burgess, Taylor, Malone, Stevens and Kelly Evans, of course, who was such a good player for us last season, but he joined our rivals. But he's on the bench this afternoon. We've got the new scoreboard there at the moment in the corner. And a new innovation here. We'll hopefully that keeps up with the game. But,
yeah, it's you can actually read it, which is handy. I was always worried about these scoreboards if they're in direct sunlight, but obviously the technology is there. And certainly for 3/4 of the ground, you'll be able to have a look at the result in case you've forgotten about it.
Yep, so we're almost there. Still waiting for the teams to come out. Some of the substitutes and backroom staff are making their way onto the pitch. Mascots are out there with Champ the Lion with their flags waving in the breeze. There is a breeze here, which is nice. Without that breeze, we would be probably getting towards the 30s, I would have thought, temperature-wise. Strains of the Hustle are in the background. And you're listening to Poppy's TV, audio sponsored by Elgood's Brewery. And hopefully this will be a classic game with a Poppies win at the end of it to boot. But that is out of our hands. We can only describe what we see, and hopefully we're not crying at the end of it. There's no sting in the tail.
Well,
let's
no.
get the honey in the pot is at our end.
Let's hope so. Unlike the last game, though, we can guarantee we will not be going to penalties today.
Yeah, penalties have been a feature in 2 of the 3 games. That controversial one last season, a yard outside the area in the dying moments of the game. And to make it 1-1 after Kettering dominated but couldn't find the back of the net to increase that 1-0 lead. But of course, the Kettering team has changed considerably to what we had last season. Harborough brought in a few players. There's a chance that Danny Newton from Brackley is a big name there. When you consider leading goal scorer Ben Stevens on the bench, that is a statement there. But in saying that, Leon Lobjolt, the second highest goal scorer in the league last season, is also on the Kettering bench, having opened his account at Real Bedford on Saturday. And what a good goal that was if you went. And of course, Alfie Lewis chipping in with the second one. Another classic goal from the youngster. And this is an exciting team that Simon Holyhead has built. But it's going to be tested today against a formidable side that Mitch Austin has out there. And you'll hear it live here all afternoon, or most of the afternoon anyway, on Poppy's TV audio. Still fans streaming in with only minutes to go before kickoff. Packed to the rafters on 2 sides. And here come the teams. Led out by the referee, Robert Peeling, assistant James Green and Gavin McFarlane. And there are the 2 teams. Kettering obviously in red and black, and Harborough in all yellow. Lining up in front of us for the pre-match handshakes. Both sets of fans explode. And of course, there'll be no changing around at half time as this has been segregated. And hopefully there'll be no problems at all this afternoon. Hopefully there'll be a Kettering win. You'll hear it here wherever you are all around the world. And please drop us a line if you can on the stream. If we can answer it, we will. We don't normally answer too many at home, but we have got an operator to do that for us this afternoon, hopefully. And
3 changes from the team that defeated Real Bedford. In terms of starters, who's there 4? Yeah. In terms of starters, we've got 3. I would imagine that's a case of a little bit of rest for players. It was a long, hard slog at Real Bedford to get the win, and the 2 wingers, noticeably for me, given a rest, dropped down to the bench this afternoon. It's an opportunity for Wes York and Kai Fifield, in particular, I think, to make an impression today, and the other swap being in the front line with Lobjolt and Loza.
Yeah, just Corrigan out of the side that the squad at Real Bedford. In comes Leve Andau, who's recovered from injury. A defender, which obviously we need with the absence now, obviously, of Lewis White. If you don't know, he joined or rejoined Spalding United last week. It was announced actually on Saturday that he was at Spalding when he played for them. So, but yes, he's gone back there. Thankfully, no serious damage to Fozzie or to Crowther after 2 crunching tackles at Real Bedford. And back in the side with Glennon, who's been superb so far this season for Poppies. Kai Fifield making his first start. He's had cameo roles and scored in one of those cameo roles against Leiston. He'll be wanting to get back into the starting lineup regularly. But with Lobjolt and Stanley, who can cause havoc, along with Opong on the subs bench, Simon Holyhead has a lot of changes up front to make if he wants to, if things don't go to the way of plan. He's not afraid of changes. He's used 5 subs in every game so far. And that is a revelation, really. We never had a manager do that, I don't think.
And what's also a revelation, Paul, is that he changed them early. There was 2 substitutes at half-time when, you know, you might say, well, we're 1-0 up. You know, why make any changes? But as well as being tactical of the day, it's also, as he made clear in his interview, it's about giving minutes to the players and not overburdening players where possible. And
looks like the Poppies won the toss. We're staying as we are, so Kettering are kicking from right to left towards the Prosaw end, and it's Harborough to kick off. O'Sullivan is over the ball. That means the Kettering will be kicking towards the tin hat in the second half, which they like to do. It is Riley O'Sullivan, over the ball with his pineapple haircut. Of course, we won't say too much about that. David Badil and Frank Skinner might get on our cases if we do, but he's over the ball. And we're getting ready here on this sun-baked afternoon. Kettering Town against Harborough, live on Poppies TV audio. Should be a fantastic game. Referee looks at his watch, signals, and we are off. Riley then back to goalkeeper Elliot Taylor, gets his first touch, all in black, sends it along. The Scythe been manhandled there by Newton. Kennedy gets a head forward. Glennon underneath it, gets it to Fifield, goes over him. There is Lewis, but he loses the ball. Feeds it through to Hickey. Inspirationally, has been in the pass for Barwell, but that goes out of play for the first goal kick of the game. Good work from Forsyth. And it will be the first goal kick. Alexander, 2 of his 3 appearances this season have been clean sheets. That's 3 of his 6 overall appearances clean sheets. So Alexander in all purple with no sponsor's name on his shirt. He gets us back underway. Goes towards Ranger. Dolman underneath it. Dolman, it comes off Ranger's shoulder, goes into the midriff of Taylor, who parries the ball down. Kicks it a couple of times in front of the penalty spot. Comes out of the D, out of his area. Halfway in his own half, sends it to a low trajectory. The Glennon underneath this one. He heads it back, but it goes straight to Kennedy. Kennedy has to play the ball high for Dolman. He gets it, missed kick by Dolman, stops it going out of play. Kennedy and Barker barging into each other. And there is Lewis, flick on by Ranger, but Dolman allows that to go back to the keeper, who's on the edge of the penalty area. And good to see the scoreboard in operation. There's a second look also at the clock on there, compared with ours, which is good. As long as the battery doesn't run out on the one over there, we'll be fine. But goal kick being taken. Crowther underneath it, going to arrive at Kennedy. He powers it forward. He finds Arlott John, and a wild shot from him goes into Doreen's back garden behind the tin hat. New ball required. 0-0 early doors here at Latimer Park.
Yep, it's warm off the pitch. It's just warming up on the pitch as George Forsyth has an unusual job of tying the boot shoelaces of Jason Alexander. Obviously doesn't have to take his gloves off, therefore. And Alexander now clears it into the penalty box to Glennon. Glennon looking forward. Plays it to the midfield area. And Barker picks it up, but he's dispossessed by Connor Kennedy, and Arlott John's away down the right-hand side into the penalty box. Glennon across, half clearance, and then Foz gets a boot in. Cleared all the way to the halfway line. Picked up by Wes York. Onto Crowther, who's having to scurry. And in the end, he has to balloon the ball out onto pitch 2. Very brown pitch 2 over the back there here at Latimer Park. And that will be a throw into the visitors on the halfway in the Poppies half.
Yep, Wes York there giving Crowther not a lot of chance in doing much with it. Going out for a throw and ball has been returned. The tall players going forward. Malone still kicking the ball around. Very, very tall play. He caused a bit of a problem when he came on in that semi-final. And Dolman, of course, not only height but girth with him. Very physical player. In comes the throw in. It's flicked on, cleared by Crowther. He finds Lewis. He gets it to Loza. Loza, he's got Fifield one way. Fifield, Loza in front of the ball's come through to Loza. Can he get a snapshot in? He comes in through here. Loza in early here, trying to get the ball to Fifield, and that's put out by Arlott John for a corner. Good work from Loza, and Fifield waiting to tap that in, but good defence there from the Bees, and a good swift end-to-end attack from the Poppies.
Yeah, great pace. Pace from Fifield, pace from Loza. And good interplay, 1-2, 2-1-2s, results in for the first corner for the Poppies on this near side.
Ball has arrived at Fifield, who's at the corner flag down by the turnstiles. A short one taken to Loza. Loza down on the byline. There's a little shuffle, goes one way, goes the other, then snips through, does well here, and still got the ball, does well, puts it in, and it's a save there by the foot of Taylor. Bit of desperation. Fifield gets it. Could be a long ranger from Thanodge. Thanodge puts the ball in. It's cleared by Morris. Only towards Barker. Gets it to Glennon. Glennon can't get by the size of Dolman, and the Bees only put the ball out to Barker. Barker can't find Fifield. And the ball arrives in the Kettering half at Alexander as Wes York is knocked over by O'Sullivan. And Wes York collects the ball from Alexander. Comes inside. York. A lot of pace there. Little trip on him. He's still going strong, though. Still York with it. Gets it out of Fifield. Fifield back to York. York flicks it through. Trying to find Ranger. There's Dolman. And a Kettering throw in there as Fifield was trashing for the ball. Kennedy flicked it out. Throw in halfway in the Harborough half on this left-hand side. So not a lot of movement for Fifield at the moment. Loza out there near the D. Ranger on the left-hand side. He's trying to find Ranger. Ranger can't get there. It's headed away. And cleared by Arlott John for another Kettering Town throw-in. Thanodge intercepts that right in front of us. Passes it back to Fifield. Fifield to Thanodge from the throw-in. Thanodge has to play it back to Forsyth, the captain. Squares it to Crowther on the far side. Out wide to York, who's now on that wing. York goes outside. He's knocked. That's a foul. Well spotted by the referee. That's Joshua Walsh fouling York. That's a throw in about 10 yards inside the Harborough. Taken quickly. It's back to Forsyth. Back to Lewis. Back to Forsyth. Forsyth out wide to Crowther. Crowther going forward, sends it through. A chase here for Ranger. He's going to have to get on his horse there, but Morris allows that to go out for a goal kick into the 7th minute here at Latimer Park, 0-0. As you'd expect, a bit like a chess game at the moment, Gary.
Yes, I think Poppies have edged it in terms of play, particularly with the Fifield Loza runs earlier on, but yeah, neither worked so far for each goalkeeper this afternoon.
Well, Lewis under pressure there, gives the ball away. Glenn's going to have to stretch to get this. He does. He finds Thanodge in the middle. Thanodge still under a bit of pressure. Gets it back to Crowther. Crowther sends it out wide, but Loza won't get there. Putman does. He sends it out wide. That goes out for a throw-in. Sort of outside of his foot. Couldn't control it. 3 at the back then, it looks like, for the Poppies with the overlapping York, just in case, which seems to be working at the moment. And of course, some exciting changes on the bench for both sides. 3 Poppies in the bench for Harborough, and plenty of attacking motives for the Poppies if need be. Connor Kennedy gets the ball in. It's a good movement there from Walsh. Plays it out wide to Riley, back to Walsh. He'll do well to keep this in. He can't keep it in. It goes out harmlessly for a goal kick. course, with the lack of rain throughout the country, I suppose a lot of pitches in non-league football are like this. A lot of green areas, but a lot of brown areas. And I do believe it's going to rain from Wednesday onwards at times. And these pitches, I think, need them. Artificial watering is okay, but it needs to be a little bit more lush, I think, than it is. As Forsyth on that right-hand side sends it long, optimistic. And that arrives at Elliot Taylor. And he pushes the ball out to Dolman. Dolman belying his years of age there. Good ball from him out to Morris. He puts a low ball in. Riley gets a foot to it. It's back with Carline. Back to Dolman. Carline gets the return from Dolman. He's got 5 foot in front of it. It's pressed forward. Glennon under pressure. And that will be a Harborough throw-in. Linesman not sure what to do. And gives it Harborough's way, which is right, but he had no idea, the linesman. George Carline then down on that right-hand side, 10 yards or so from the corner flag. The tall players of Harborough going forward. Kettering will need to be at their mettle to keep them under control. It comes in towards Malone, but it's flicked on by Ranger, who's very good defensively, Ranger. Good turn there, 5 foot away, plays it out wide to Loza. Loza won't get there. Putman will, he does. Sends it long for O'Sullivan. Goes out for a throw-in. It comes off for Loza. And that's a poor ball that Crowther has to deal with. He does. He's fouled in the process after the ball. There'll be a free kick. Referee going to have a quick word with the Harborough player. It was a late touch on him. Just a brief word in his ear hole. Nothing serious. But it is Newton ex-Brackley who has had a word in his ear there. Harborough fans trying to generate their team. Well, that's all their fan base behind the goal, isn't it? They don't get that many at home, I don't think. So, but it is Alexander.
Not far to travel.
Pardon?
Not far to travel.
Yeah. Alexander then with the free kick sends it low trajectory towards Rangers, beaten to it, but there is Barker, gets it through to Loza. Loza 1-2 with Ranger. Loza on that right hand side down by the touchline. A little chop there on him, a foul well spotted by the linesman. Harborough, of course, last season were very, very physical. A few of the dark arts, and they've started in that manner this afternoon. Niggly little touches after the ball, but will be a free kick. Thanodge over the ball on the far side, parallel with the penalty area.
Yeah, good attacking option here.
It is a good attacking option.
Delivery, hopefully, from Andy Thanodge.
Yeah, if Thanodge can deliver one, then there's a good possibility of getting something on goal. Ranger in there along with Loza. In it comes towards that back post. A poor one, though, from Thanodge. Absolutely abysmal. It just went into the Harborough fans harmlessly. But a poor effort from man of the match on Saturday.
Yes, direct opposite of quality required. That was very poor effort. I'm sure Andy Thanodge would admit the same. He's usually much better than that, but sails high and wide.
No, 12 minutes are into here at Latin Park, 0-0. No goalkeeper really has had anything to do. Kettering have looked more livelier at the moment in these heat-sapping conditions. Taylor then gets us back underway from the goal kick, and Glennon gets his head to it. But Harborough get the ball only towards Lewis. Plays it back to Loza, who's back in his own. It's in fact York, not Loza. How could I get that one wrong? Crowther sends it towards Ranger, who's being manhandled again. But there is Loza on the halfway line. Beats one, beats two. Plays it out wide to Fifer. It's cut out though well. Harborough now get a chance to strike back with Arlott John going forward. Plays it out wide to Carline. Carline has to check back. Gets it to Arlott John. He finds Connor Kennedy. Kennedy, the captain. Good 1-2 with Carline going down the touchline. Puts a good ball over. Goes out of play. Does it? No, it stays in. It's a good ball. But Riley can't do much with that. It's well worked by Fifield. Fifield to Loza, sending it a long chase for Fifield. But even his sprinting's not going to get that one. The ball back with the keeper. Thanos underneath this one from the keeper. Finds Barker. Thanos, a little pirouette there. Gets it to Lewis. Squares it to Barker. Barker, a little flick through to Ranger, but he can't do much with it. Back to Lewis. Fifield here on this left-hand side by the touch line. Has to play the ball back to Forsyth. He squares it to Crowther on the far side. Crowther now with a bit of space to go forward. Checks back, gets it to Thanog. Thanog back to Crowther. He finds Forsyth. Forsyth to Glennon. Glennon, who scored that tremendous free kick down here against Barwell. Hopefully he might get a chance to do that later in the game. Gets it to Forsyth. Forsyth to Crowther. Back to Thanog, still in Kettering's half. Switches it back to Glennon. He's got Lewis in front of him, who receives the ball. Lewis has to play it back, though, to Forsyth, still in Kettering's half. Playing the ball around nicely, though. Out wide to Loza. A little touch to Crowther. Crowther now going forward. Still Crowther. And that nasty tackle on him at Real Bedford on Saturday. Seems to have recovered from that one, though. Gets the ball to York. York back to Barker. Forsyth to Glennon. Fifield wants it on this left-hand side. Doesn't get it. Glennon not sure what to do with it. It's back to Forsyth. Patient football from the Poppies. Forsyth sends it forward for York. He's been marshalled by O'Sullivan. Puts the ball in. Doesn't reach Ranger. Pumped out by Harborough. That will be a Poppies throw-in. Holyhead there to get the ball quickly back to Crowther, who delivers it to Forsyth. He switches it into the centre circle, just outside it to Glennon. Glennon slowing the pace down a little bit. Still Glennon just over the halfway line now, trying to get Fifield away. He does. Now Fifield with a bit of space on this left-hand side, but he still has the ball. Fifield, trickery from him, puts the ball over, but it goes over Loza, out of play for a goal kick. Fifield throws his head back in disgust as that goes out for a goal kick. Harborough not in any rush to take it. Of course, there's no ball boys here anymore.
No, he'll take his time. It's a hot sunny afternoon. That's the first third of the first half gone. Kettering edging it on points in boxing terms. That this ain't no work for the goalkeepers of any note. Only a few goal kicks, etc. Been easy going so far as they're concerned.
Elliot Taylor then spotting the ball in his 6-yard box, going over to the his right-hand side to take this. Should be on the left-hand side, really, but since goalkeepers can choose where they take it from, he's gone over to the other side. So Elliot Taylor then back underway, gets it long. Glennon underneath it, comes to the top of his head, though, and that will be a Harborough throw-in. 17 minutes here at Lantern Park, 0-0. No real chances for either side. Listen to Poppy's TV audio, sponsored by Elgood's Brewery. We thank Elgood's once again for their continued support. It's going to be a long throw-in, which it is. It's not Kennedy, it's the number 2, Carline. It comes in, there's a chance here. Headed away from Dolman to Thanog. Thanog, though, has to just hoof the ball out of play, which he does. That's a throw-in on the far side. And Elliot Putman going over to, he's thrown the ball to Carline, who switches sides. It'll be another long throw-in. Referee tells him to go back a few yards, which no doubt by the time it is delivered will be in the place where he's going to take it from eventually anyway. But irrespective of that, it's going to be a long throw-in. In it comes high, headed out by a Ranger again. A foul on Loza, and that will be a free kick. And another foul committed by Harborough. Now this time it was by Elliot Putman. Thanog takes it quickly to Crowther, back to Thanog, back to Crowther. Crowther sends it long for Loza, but there is Putman. He'll marshal this one out. No, he does very well. He sends Loza spinning. He comes away with the ball. left-footed, sends it towards O'Sullivan, intercepted by Lewis, and then there's York, but he only gives the ball away. Little flick on, good football here from the Bees. Flick through, here's a chance here, comes in the 10 there, good save from Alexander, first chance at his near post, it comes out to York. He finds Ranger, but he was unbalanced for that. The ball is with Lewis though. And he does a little pirouette, gets it back to Alexander. Good save from Alexander, who's been in fine form since he's been back with the Poppies, and that was a good save.
Yeah, he's done everything right as far as I'm concerned in goal, Jason Alexander, and that's the first save of the match. Danny Newton there just showing his expertise, finding a seam between Forsyth and Crowther, getting his shot away, and a good save with his legs as far as Alexander concerned, but Newton back in possession now. Loses the ball, but regains it. Plays it out back to the halfway line, and Putnam inside to Walsh. Walsh looking up for his options. Comes this way to Carline on this right-hand side. Inside to Connor Kennedy. And back inside to Walsh, just outside the centre circle. Ball from him is well intercepted, though. Kettering are on the break.
So away comes Lewis, plays it out wide to Loza on that right-hand side touchline. Down on the other side, comes inside Walsh, but Walsh gets the better of him in the end. It's cleared by Morris. He finds Hickey. In turn finds O'Sullivan, but that's a wild ball from him. Alexander comes out of his goal mouth. He's well out of his goal mouth here, but gets it to Crowther, trots back into his 6-yard box. Crowther comes forward for the men in red. York making a move on that right-hand side. Ranger and Barker in the penalty area. Step back by York. He gets it back to Crowther. Finds Thanodge. Lewis in the centre now. Has to play it back to Thanodge. Right, footed out wide for Fife, but he won't keep this in. He doesn't. Cheers there by the away fans as that ball goes out of play, resulting in a Harborough throw-in. And 0-0 here, 21 minutes with our new scoreboard looking, I can't read the sponsors bits at the bottom, but looks quite good, seeing the score up there. Although it just say 0-0. That's throw-in been taken by the Bees, flicked on to Arlott John, but Thanodge intercepts. It's out again and pushed out of play by Harborough for throwing by the halfway line. Glennon comes over to take it rather slowly. And Glennon, of course, these two sides reached the furthest in the FA Cup last season. Both next week will start at the first qualifying round, Kettering at Long Eaton, of course. And Harborough, I think, have a home tie. Been taken quickly towards Ranger. He's been beaten to it, as is Glennon. But he gets a second bite at it, flicks it through the Firefield. Foul on Glennon by Hickey. The referee saw that one. Free kick to Kettering just inside their own half. 3 yards or so. It's been taken quickly back to Forsyth. Forsyth going forward. Not a lot on for him at the moment. Looking around. Squares it to Thanodge, and it's back to Forsyth. Back to Thanodge. He sends it in the middle to Loza. Gets a nice little touch. Loza, not a lot on for him, though. He has that pace, as we know. He loses the ball, though. And Arlott John intercepts, going forward for the Bees. Inside the Kettering half. Goes one way, goes the other. He's got Glennon in front of him. He has Newton in the area, but he's been forced out wide. Can he get the ball over? He can't, and that goes out for a goal kick. Although Harborough are claiming it should be a corner. They must be blind. It's a goal kick.
Yep, 0-0 halfway through the first half. Fair to say that it's been played at a relatively, I won't say pedestrian state, but not full throttle. And that's understandable with these conditions. It's very warm out there. In fact, just on cue, the referee says that's where we'll take a water break.
Yeah, understandable in these conditions. As I say, it's going to be the hottest day of this month, I would have thought today. Anything from 27 to 30 degrees. And it is after Saturday. A lot of players out there have played both games. and they're going to need to take some fluids, and so they are doing that at the moment. Gives also a chance for both managers to come out and give some instruction to their sides. As Gary said, it's just the one chance so far, and that came to Harborough, and it was a reasonable strike, but nothing that Alexander couldn't control, and it was a good save from him at his near post. He's been on excellent form, as I say, since he came back into the side, due to Paul White's injury. He's progressing nicely by all accounts.
Just give you a few scores while we're out of play here at Latimer Park. Alvechurch 0, Stratford 1. Stratford struggling this season, but they got the noses in front so far in that one. Banbury 1, Stourbridge 0. Bishop Stortford 1, Royston 0. Hales Owen 0, Worcester 2. Needham Market 0, Leiston 1. And Stamford 0, Spalding 1. That's the only games with goals so far.
Stamford look like they may be going on to their third win in a row there, consecutive wins, but surprise, Worcester winning 2-0 at Hales Owen at the moment. That's an interesting one there. Leiston have hit a bit of form since we beat them 3-0. So of course, it's all very, very early doors, isn't it, in this season so far? We're only into the 5th game. As Gary said, Stratford bottom of the league with no points, 1-0 up at the moment, and which is quite a surprise. I think they've only scored 1 goal, I think, up until today. But long way to go for all these sides in all these games. And as we know, football's a funny old game. And Bishop Stortford, the surprise at the moment, must have improved their side considerably from last season, as we beat them twice last season quite convincingly. So far, like Kettering, have won all their games. Although there's a bit of confusion about the game they last played being an 89th minute cancellation. I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, it's going to be one for the league to decide as to whether they want to replay or whether it will be as it stood, the result stands, but we'll wait and find out.
Back to the game towards Barker. It goes over him. Fifield gets a touch into Ranger to Barker. Barker won't get there. Dolman does. This only goes towards Crowley. Chests it down and can't control it. Gives the ball away. Chance here for Newton. Plays it out wide. No, he's still got the ball. He's going out wide. Newton, though, right foot. He puts the ball in towards that back post. It goes over Arlott John, who completely mistimed that. Puts his arm up to Newton. Goes out for a throw-in.
I can only think he thought that Glennon was going to get his head on it first, but he didn't anticipate. And when Glennon didn't get his head on it, it may have been a slight opportunity for the visitors. As it is, goal kick.
The referee wants the throw-in taken again, so Glennon gets a retake. He's down not quite by the corner flag, probably about 8 yards or so away from the corner flag, just in our vision, trying to find Ranger, but Carline wins that one. A little flick on to Lewis. He finds Loza. Loza spreads it out wide to York. York can play a 1-2 with Loza if he wants to. He sees Loza running forward, but I don't think he's going to catch that. I think Putman will allow that to go out of play, but Loza challenging him. And alleged foul by Loza on Putman down by the corner flag. That will be a free kick, which goalkeeper Elliot Taylor will come out with his goal to take. Rather harsh foul, I thought that, as it was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. But
but Putnam knew it was going to bounce and it was running, and he just had to shepherd it out. So Loza thought, I need to have a little tug on the shirt, maybe.
Then Taylor with the free kick from the wrong place, but and he spots it down again. Taylor then going to address the ball. 28 minutes gone here at Latimer Park. Sends it high, and that's kicked out of play. That's a poor one from him. And goes out by the halfway line for a Poppy's throw-in. York this time, he's thrown it to Crowther, who was going to take a quick one, but then had to retract that. And again, he was going to throw it towards Loza. He does. He's pushed in the back. It's in fact Ranger, not Loza. It's back with Forsyth, goes over Dolman's head, harmlessly into the arms of Taylor. He pats that down in front of him as he comes out to the penalty spot. And It is Taylor then displays it out wide to Dolman. Dolman sends it long. It's a good ball to Arlott John. Good ball from him to Carline. It's got the overlap. Ball comes in near post. A chance here. Shot comes in and cleared only towards Arlott John again. Puts it in again. A chance, a header. Goal, 1-0. And that's Newton beaten at the near post. And Harborough take the lead. I thought Kettering got away with that, but a good deft header from Newton, the ex-Brackley player. And it goes by Alexander. And the visitors go ahead at Latimer Park for the first time.
Yeah, deft finish by Danny Newton with his head. It was a good ball in from Arlott John. And he guided the ball really well with his head into the bottom corner, giving Alexander no chance. And, well, the visitors have got the noses in front.
Well, completely out of nothing that was. There looked like no threat whatsoever, but there's a good cross from Arlott John. Met in the centre there, and a deft header beating Alexander as Kettering were rather pedestrian at the back, finding themselves again 1-0 down at Latimer Park as they were against Barwell. And we're back underway. Kettering Town 0, Market Harborough, or Harborough Town, should I say, 1. Crowther back to Forsyth. He gets it to Glennon. Glennon finds Lewis to Fifield. Fifield into Lewis. Trying to find Rangers to Fifield. Fifield knocked off the ball, puts it through though. It's cleared away to Arlott John, who made that goal. Newton going forward again. It's the same two players. Puts the ball in. And Alexander this time comes out, and Newton barges into Alexander. And Glennon has the ball. Just being given the official attendance here, which were read out by our announced a little later, but we'll put it on air now. 2091. 2091. Fantastic attendance as the ball is sprayed out wide to York, who can't keep it in, but he acknowledges the attempted ball. The Harborough fans, though, making the noise at the moment, and rightly so, as their side are 1-0 ahead. And came out of nothing, really. They've taken the first real chance of the game. And Kettering paid the penalty of being a bit lax at the back. So there is Alexander sending it long towards Dolman, who heads the ball back to Elliott. Taylor. Harborough fans are quite buoyant at the moment over there. Fifield then gets a head onto it, but it's only met by Carline. He finds Connor Johnson. Johnson spreads it out wide for the overlapping Walsh. Walsh, though, right-footed, puts the ball in. It's a low one to Arlott John. Arlott John goes one way, might try a long ranger. It's ricocheted off Thanos. Ball comes at offside as Alexander comes out. Referee allows play on. York on the far side, going forward. Back to Crowther. He switches it on this side to Glennon. Glennon in the centre, now moving forward. Glennon. Still Glennon. Squares it back to Forsyth. Forsyth. Not a lot on for him at the moment. Has to play the ball back to Glennon. So Glennon retrieving the ball. Still Glennon. No movement for him at the moment whatsoever. And he plays it to Barker, back to Thanodge, back to Barker, just a little turn, back to Glennon. He sends it long, but it's a poor ball from Glennon, and derisory cheers from was from Harborough fans as that goes out for a goal kick.
That's another example, though, of Glennon having to hit a long ball, because the Harborough are doing a good job at the moment of clogging up the forward passing lanes, making it difficult to get through the midfield area. And I'm sure the gaffer will be making a note of that and thinking about how he can tweak things.
Well, the good thing about Holyhead is that he does make these changes, doesn't he? He doesn't wait until the last 5 minutes. He'll analyse this very, very quickly, and he will make changes if need be. At the moment, Kettering having to deal as Dolman then hoofs the ball out. He's going to be beaten for pace, but no messing with Dolman. He knees the ball out for a throw-in. As Fifield goes down to the corner flag on the left-hand side to take it. Fifield then getting a bit of an encouragement from the Harborough fans, as you can imagine. Gets it to Lozers, pushed in the back. That's the foul. And this will be a free kick to Kettering, as the Harborough player won't allow Fifield to take it. Referee telling Arlott John to get back. Now he's pacing him out 10 yards. So can Fifield find a delivery that's going to put Elliot Taylor under pressure? So Fifield then a high ball, back post to Crowther, gets a head in, but it's a poor one, and just goes straight through to the keeper under no pressure whatsoever at his near post. And he bowls the ball out on the far side to Putnam. He sends it long to Riley O'Sullivan. He's having a bit of a clash with York. And this time it's Crowther and York who've been penalised in fouling O'Sullivan. They're protested in their innocence. York can't believe it. It's almost like York selling his soul, isn't he, when he makes a mistake or something happens like that. He just can't believe that's gone against him. Of course, York and Newton probably would have played together at Brackley in the past. But it is a free kick then on the far side. Gives Harborough a chance to put Poppies under a little bit more pressure. 36 minutes gone of this first half, if you've just joined us. Kettering 0, Harborough Town 1. In comes the free kick. It's missed, though, by York. It's cleared, though, by Kettering, away to Loser, the only man forward for the Poppies. And he can't beat Walsh, but it comes off Walsh for a throw-in. Lewis then loses the ball from the Crowther loses the ball from the throw-in. It's a throw-in to Harborough. Kettering really haven't shown much of their attacking flair so far in this first half, other than that little run by Loser and Fifield early doors. But at the moment, they've got to conjure up something. As Crowther gets his head to the ball, it's sent long. There is Lewis, has to turn under pressure. He's fouled. Referee sees it. And that was Hickey fouling. Picking taken quickly to Glennon. Glennon out wide to Fifield. Fifield into Thanodge. Thanodge back to Glennon. Glennon squares it to Forsyth. Forsyth sends it a long chase here for York. York given the ghost up on that one. And that goes out for a goal kick. Usain Bolt wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, the long balls aren't working so far for the Poppies. And as I say, I think at half time there will be an adjustment, not necessarily a personnel adjustment, although it wouldn't surprise me either, but perhaps a little bit more tactical in terms of how we can open up the passing lanes, because Harborough have done a good job of stifling them.
Yeah, Ranger and Lowe's haven't been able to impact themselves on the game too much at the moment. And midfield haven't been able to put the relevant balls in, but plenty of time to go. No need to worry at the moment. The ball comes into Riley, and it is free kick to Kettering in the centre circle. Thanodge takes it quickly. He finds Barker. Barker out wide to Fifield. Fifield has to play the ball back there to Glennon. Glennon, no doubt, will square it. No, he gets the ball back to Fifield. Fifield Comes inside. Can he beat his man? He has done. Fifield going forward in the centre. Plays it to Loza. Loza back to Barker. Barker out wide to Crowther, who's stepping up with play. He plays it to York, who's hugging that touchline on the far side. Back to Barker. Barker. Little alley shuffle, then loses the ball at the vital time, but he finds Lewis. Lewis trying to find Ranger. Ranger in the penalty area. Still Ranger turns. Can he get one in? He can't. He's trying to find Loza, but it's blocked by Harborough. They get the ball away. And up and under by Riley. And then it is a Kettering throw-in as Newton was all over Glennon, and that goes out for a throw-in. 39 minutes gone in this first half as Glennon does well, gets the ball back to Forsyth. Forsyth going for, I can see Holyhead there having a word with Lobjolt on the subs bench as Glennon plays it to Thanodge. Thanodge playing a deeper role at the moment is Thanodge. Gets it back to Glennon. Glennon, he's down by the halfway line, plays it back to Thanodge. Kettering fans very, very quiet. All you can hear at the moment is Harborough, 1-0 up, of course. Loza gets the ball through to York. York now with a bit of space. Can he deliver a good ball in? Comes in, it's blocked again, only towards Lewis. Lewis, can he shoot? Lewis puts the ball out wide to Fifield. He is outstretched, he can't get there. A bit unlucky for Fifield, but goes out for a goal kick.
It's just not clicking for the Poppies this afternoon so far. They say plenty of time to go, and the fact that Leon Lobjolt had a very long conversation and with Simon Holyhead over there. Simon pointing out a few things. It wouldn't surprise me if he was to come on at half time as one of probably several changes, more tactical than others, but just around the penalty box, not quite on it, not quite sharp enough this afternoon for the Reds. Taylor clears the left to right. Barker just manages to keep the ball in. Kennedy hoists it forward, and Arlott John is away on this near side. Checks it back, but Thanodge does well to intercept and then has to play it long, but only as far as Kennedy. Rebounds to Walsh. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy looking forward to Carline, but that's overhit, and that will skip through for a goal kick to the Poppies.
Goal kick then as we're getting into the 41st minute here of this first half. And just one real chance of the game, and Harborough tucked it away. Good goal. Crowther on the far side gets it to Lewis. A poor ball from him, though, giving the ball back to Riley, who goes down on a foul by Lewis. It's the Harborough fans that are loud at the moment. So, sting in the tail for the Poppies as they are a goal behind as this free kick has been taken. It's taken to Riley. He's going down the byline, being manhandled a bit by York, goes out of play. And that will be a goal kick as York and Riley have a little clash and a handshake between them off the park. Taken quickly by Alexander. He's finding Fifield. Fifield, nobody with him at the moment. Comes inside Arlott John. Fifield trying to find Ranger. Ranger chests it down, and the foul there on Lewis, but referee says no. Kettering lose the ball to Morris. He finds Riley, being pressurised again by York. York snatches it off him. Plays it outright to Loza. Loza can't control it, can't get near it. And again, the luck not with the Poppies at the moment as that goes out for a throw-in on that far side. Ball back with the keeper from the throw-in. 43 minutes this first half gone. Ball out with Dolman. Dolman coming forward. Out wide to Arlott John. Arlott John squares it to Kennedy. Connor Kennedy, ex-Poppy, of course, sprays it out wide to Putman on that far side. Putman plays it back to Kennedy. Kennedy back to the keeper. There's Elliot Taylor coming out of his goal, sending it long. That's going to go straight to Alexander. It does. And he bowls that ball out quickly to Crowther. Crowther to Loza. Loza, good little turn from him to Thanodge. Thanodge to Lewis. Into Barker. Barker needs to go forward, but he is doing. Out wide to Fifield, trying to find Barker. He's pushed off the ball, though, ineffectively. Dolman gets it away. Little death header, that's going to go out of play. And that'll be a throw-in to Glennon. Finds Forsyth. Forsyth back to Alexander. Alexander sending it long, but Loza will get there, I don't think. Or will he? Ball comes over, comes in. And a little flick on there. I thought that was going to go into the goal. It was just off target and goes for a goal kick. From our angle, it could have been yards wide, couldn't it? But from our angle, it looked like it was going to sneak in.
Yeah, but it's the closest we got to score, and it was a long hoik from Alexander, who's under pressure from Newton. Just a big long ball down the middle, and Loza was away. And, well, he got his foot on it. He guided it past Elliot Taylor, but also guided it wide of the post as far as the Poppers are concerned.
Kick been taken, it's been flicked on and pushed there by Forsyth. And that will be a free kick, a foul and all at John. Halfway in the Kettering half. And I think Forsyth is going into the book for kicking the ball away. But that's rather harsh, as the whistle was rather late. But Forsyth goes into the book. He's going over to have a word with the referee. But now with the first yellow card of the game.
Yeah, I think that was harsh. I think the Fozzie was in the process of clearing the ball, really, when the yellow card, where the whistle went. So I think that is a very harsh yellow card. As we move into extra time in this first half, still waiting for the board to go up, but perhaps a little bit late. It's 3 minutes.
Free kick then, and Putnam has come over to take this. Left-footed, swings it in low. Thanodge gets the head out, but it goes straight to Kennedy, who puts it back in again. Back to Putnam, sends it out. Newton can't do much with that, and that's going to go out for no. Cut out by Alexander. And we're not sure how many time added on. Did you say 3 minutes? 3 minutes of added time as Crowther goes forward and finds York. Is there going to be one last or a first chance for the Poppies before half-time? We've got 2.5 minutes or so to find out as Forsyth gets it to Thanodge. Thanodge out wide to Crowther. Crowther now going forward to York. York back to Thanodge. Thanodge. He finds Lewis. Lewis into Barker. Barker does well under pressure. Gets it back to Lewis. Flicks the ball through to Fifield. Fifield puts the ball in. It's a weak shot from him, though. It finds the middle of the goal, and there is Elliot Taylor. Bit of a snapshot, really, Gary.
Yeah, I think that's first save that Taylor's had to make. No real conviction, unfortunately, from Kai Fifield with his right-footed effort.
Well, deep into time added on here as Glennon gets the ball to Fifield, who had that half chance there. Has to play it back to Glennon. Referee looks at his arm. And here is Forsyth going forward. Plays it out wide to Wes York. He's got Loza overlapping. Doesn't use him. Comes inside. Does Wes York running at the Harborough defence. Has a little click back. Gets it to Thanodge. Thanodge out wide to Crowther. Crowther plays it now to Thanodge, to Loza, weaves by one, gets the other there. Crowther comes in, it hits a defender, but it's back at Loza, puts the ball in towards that back post. It cut out by Elliot Taylor as Ranger was about to pounce, but it doesn't reach him. And that should about see us, I would think, for this extra minute. Kick been taken. Glennon underneath it, but offside. And Alexander comes out quickly, bowls the ball to Lewis to take it. Been taken. Referee has another cursory glance at his watch. It's on the far side now with Forsyth. He finds Loza. Back to Forsyth. Forsyth sprays it out towards Fifield. Can Fifield get there? Over the head to Barker. Barker to Fifield. Fifield wasn't in the right position. Again, the referee. And there goes the half-time whistle. Harborough have taken the advantage in this first half with the only real chance of the game. It came from nothing. A decent cross from Arlott John. A deft header by Danny Newton. And it beat Alexander at his near post. But it is hot out there, I suppose. Both sides haven't put their heart and soul, it seems, into it at the moment. Kettering playing probably at half pace at the moment.
Yeah, it's been too comfortable, really, for Harborough Town. As Elliot Taylor just a word with the goalkeeper about something or other, but can't be about anything thrown at him because he's been in front of his own fans in the first half. But yeah, too comfortable, and the Reds will need to step up a gear. I'm sure Simon Hollyhead knows that. We'll wait and see what tactical changes, what personnel changes come our way at half-time.
Darren, I'm going to take a 15-minute break. We'll be back with you in the second half. Let's hope that the Poppies can pull it back and go ahead. But half-time here, it's Kettering Town 0, Harborough Town 1. Welcome back to Latimer Park. Sun still beaming down here at it looks like the Poppies are going to make 2 substitutions. I can see Leon Lobjolt already on. And I think Connor Stanley is also going to come on. Can't see who's being replaced. It looks like Fifield is making way. So Lobjolt definitely on. Fifield definitely off. Looks like Ranger is the other one that isn't with us.
Might just be the one change, but like you say, Stanley stripped, so he's coming on. So
Lobjolt's there as well.
Yeah,
so I can't see Ranger out there, and I can't see Fifield.
Yeah.
So that looks like the replacement. We'll get the official changeover when Malk gets his disco board with us. 45 minutes to see if we can turn this round. And here we go. So yeah, as we said there, it is Fifield and Niall Ranger making way for Liam Lobjolt and Connor Stanley. All the same for Harborough.
well, we said it, didn't we? That Simon's not afraid to make changes, and early changes at that, and that's exactly what he's gone and done this time. Same as he did on Saturday when we were 1-0 up. Now we're 1-0 down. It's still 2 changes.
So see if that makes any difference to the Kettering options. Still got the pace of Oppong if fit to come on late on, but of course Harborough themselves have got some decent substitutes in Ben Stevens, leading goal scorer last season. Devon Kelly-Evans, no introduction there. And of course all ex-Kettering, but his Poppies kicking towards the tin hat. 2091 is the attendance, kicking their favourite way. And we are off. Lobjolt gets the ball back to Forsyth. Forsyth finds Crowther towards Lobjolt. He can't get there this time. Headed on by Hickey. He finds Putnam. Long ball to him. Crowther lets it go over him, and that arrives eventually back at Alexander in all purple this afternoon. Glennon then with it on the far side. Switches it to Crowther. Back to Forsyth, back 3 for the Poppies. Into Thanodge. Thanodge to Lewis. Lewis out wide to Glennon on the far side now. There is Stanley. Stanley comes inside. He's got a lot of pace, gets his Lobjolt. A heavy ball from him to Lewis, though. And so Stanley, he's fouled straight away by... who's he fouled by? Can't see that he turns. Carline. Referee... going over. Of course, there's only been the one bookie, which was Forsyth kicking the ball away, which not a lot he could have done about that, actually. He was in the process of clearing it when the referee blew the whistle, but that deserves a booking, really. But no, it is a free kick. Glennon takes it quickly towards Lobjolt. He's down by the byline. Turns one way, turns it, needs some help. Knocks off the ball. That's going to be a Harborough throw-in. Harborough did well there, getting the throw-in out of that.
It'll be a different test for Morris and Dolman, 2 big men, with Lobjolt now also joining Loza. It's all going to be about guile and pace, and hopefully that will be the key that unlocks as far as the Poppies are concerned here this afternoon. Back underway with Crowther to York. York just inside his own half. Back to Archie Crowther. Comes to George Forsyth looking for his options. And goes back to Crowther. Crowther goes forward. That's asking a lot of Lob Jolt. Dolman wins, but only bounces back to Lob Jolt. Lob Jolt now with Riley O'Sullivan, and Riley O'Sullivan wins, shall we say, a free kick against Loza right in front of the assistant on this near side.
Free kick then to Harborough. Keeper coming out to take it. Sun still beating down. If you're listening anywhere in England, I suppose, the sun must be with you. If you're abroad, it will be. It's, Taylor then making this free kick. Left-footed keeper sends it long towards Newton, but Crowther gets the head in only towards Johnson. He plays it out wide to Riley. He keeps it in. Forsyth to York. York missed his kick. Hickey gets the ball to O'Sullivan. Back to Putnam. And it's going to go out of play, I would think. It does marshalled out by Crowther, denying Walsh an attempt. So Alexander then in his 6-yard box plays it out to Glennon, has to play it back to Alexander. I'm not liking this too much. Alexander has to clear it under pressure. Lob Jolt can't win that. And Forsyth gets the ball, plays it out wide to Crowther. Crowther on this near side plays it back to Forsyth. Forsyth, right-footed, going forward in blue boots, sends it out to Barker, who's had quite a quiet first half. Sends it out wide to Stanley. Stanley is going to come inside. Stanley offside. It looked like it's going to be a promising run, but up goes the flag. So the Harborough defence at the moment marshalling the forward line of the Poppies. Into the 50th minute already of this game. Time always seems to go quicker when you're losing, yet when you're 1-0 ahead, it seems to be like an eternity. You say time is relative, but it does have its ways of showing. As free kick has been taken towards Newton, it goes over him and over Crowther into Alexander's arms. He bowls it out quickly to Wes York. York with a bit of space on this left-hand side. Plays it back to Crowther. Crowther going forward. Trying to poor ball from him, though, gives it away to Putnam. He finds Sullivan. O'Sullivan back to the keeper. Don't think Lob Jolt will get there. He won't. Keeper does. Good clearance from him. That's going to arrive at Alexander from keeper to keeper as the wind gets up. Glennon gets it to Thanos. Thanos turns and loses the ball in a critical area as Barker's trying to get the shot down, comes in. Good parried save there by Alexander, puts the ball out to Thanodge. A chance, though, for Harborough. Another poor ball as York robs O'Sullivan, gets it to Loza. Loza back to Thanodge. Thanodge squares it. Then a terrible ball from Lewis to Walsh. Ball out wide to Arlott John. He's trying to find Carline. Back to Arlott John. Tries a shot. Again, another dive save and punch out, only towards Walsh this time. That's 2 shots in the last couple of minutes from Harborough. Back to Arlott John. He's finding Connor Johnson. He finds Dolman. Dolman out wide to Putnam. Left-footed, comes in. Thanodge clears it, but it goes anywhere. And Morris plays it out wide. There's a good work there from Stanley. Gets it back to Forsyth. Forsyth squares it to Crowther. Crowther, now he's going forward. He finds Loza. Loza can't get the ball to York. Loses it to Johnson. Johnson finds Elliot Putman. Putman, little chip, but that's just going to go no man's land. And Forsyth says to Alexander, come out and collect the ball, which he does. Plays it back in the centre to Forsyth, telling Glennon to go out wide. Still Forsyth, gets it to Barker. Barker out wide to Glennon. Glennon back to Forsyth. Trying to switch it to Loza, which he does. Loza out wide, a foul off the ball. Referee says no. Crowther with it to Thanodge. To Forsyth. Back to Loza, to Forsyth. Like a tape loop at the moment. Forsyth in the centre circle, going forward. Tries to get away Stanley, but it won't reach him. It's headed back by Carline to the keeper. And any threat whatsoever has been snuffed out quite easily by Harborough. Kettering haven't forced the keeper into any saves whatsoever. Alexander's made 2 punch-out save dives in this second half. 1 in the first half, conceded a goal. Advantage Harborough, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. We're not asking hard enough questions. That's the problem at the moment. The crispness of passing, the forward ideas really are just not there at the moment for the Poppies. Still time though.
Yep, still time. And Johnson loses that ball to Loza, plays it to Barker, who's not alert enough, and away comes Morris. Might try a long range, puts it out wide. Cries of offside, nothing given as Barker finds Stanley. Nothing on for him though. He loses it to Putnam. Ball back with the keeper. Kettering can't break down this Harborough defence at the moment. And in all games that we've played against Harborough, the defence has been really rock solid. And that's a kick from Alexander to Loza, who's knocked off the ball. But the ball with Barker on the halfway line. He turns. Gets it back from Lewis out wide to Glennon. Glennon finds Stanley. Stanley on that wing where he's been so successful again. Beats 1, beats 2. Going forward here, Stanley. Can he get the ball over? He can't. It hits the back heel of Morris. Goes out for a Kettering throw-in. The Kettering fans respond. Not had much to cheer about this afternoon so far. Kelly Evans warming up for Harborough. Glennon with the throw-in, 10 yards inside the Harborough half on the far side. Throw-in been taken, a poor one, but Johnson skies that one, but gets away with it. And the ball is back with Thanodge, who has to chest it down. He switches it over to Crowther. Crowther, good control from him. Crowther trying to find York. York does well under pressure. York comes inside, gets it to Lewis. Lewis squares it to Glennon, who's got a bit of space to run forward if he wants to. He is going forward. He has Stanley outside, but optimistic ball that does find Lobjot down by the corner flag. Lobjot comes in and should get nothing from it. I thought he was going to get a corner, but it's a goal kick. 56 minutes gone of this game. Kettering Town 0, Harborough 1. You listen to Poppies TV audio, sponsored by Elgood's Brewery, as Hickey is on the break on the far side. In fact, Arlott John with the ball. Going to get the ball over. He has here. Back post could be 2-0. And good defending as Hickey was there, but Crowther did enough to deflect it for a corner.
Yeah, I think the header at the back post there. It came off Crowther's head. That's why it's a corner to the visitors, and I have to say, if they should get their noses in front again to go 2-0 up, that could be a real big blow for the Reds this afternoon, based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, they don't look like breaking this Harborough downtown side down at all. 2-0 would be a heck of a mountain to climb, but a corner to defend. Everybody on that goal line. Ball comes into that back post, comes in. That's another corner on the other side this time. And Dolman complaining, but he can complain all he likes. He's going to get another corner out of this, though, this time on the other side. More pressure for Kettering to take. And Harborough taking an eternity to take the corner, as no doubt time wasting will come into this into the equation. It's a disappointing display so far from the men in red. But we knew it was going to be a tough game, but Kettering's attack has been snuffed out so far. Referee now having a word with Dolman, who's causing havoc in that 6-yard box. And Thanodge has got his arms around him. He must have long arms because there's a heck of a girth on Dolman to get his arms round. But in comes the corner. Going to be an in-swinging one, I would think. It does come inside there. Back header goes over the bar. And averted. Still 1-0 to Harborough.
Yeah, Dolman's just got one job, isn't he? Just to occupy the goalkeeper when the corners come in. But danger averted. Ways York picks the ball up on this near side. Back to Crowther. Crowther inside to Thanodge. Thanodge over the halfway line to Lewis. Back into the Poppies half to Glennon, though, and he struggles to get it under control, and that'll have to go all the way back to Alexander. Alexander finds Forsyth back inside in the central area for Thanodge. Thanodge pumps it out to Glennon on that left-hand side into Lewis. Lewis looking for options, plays the ball into the centre circle, finds Loza. Loza releases Crowther. Crowther now into the Harborough half, looking for Wes York on this side, but it's good police. That's going to be a corner. Putnam gets his foot on it. Corner to the Poppies.
Corner then for Kettering. It's going to be Lobjolt to take this. Delivery so far from the few set pieces the Poppies have had have resulted in nothing whatsoever. Is this the turning point as he spots it down in the quadrant, just outside the quadrant? Just Lewis and York back for the Poppies. In comes at Lobjolt. Keeper punches the ball out. It's cleared away, but referee blows the whistle as there's interference. Very harsh again. After all the barging around in the Kettering 6-yard box, nothing given. The first slight touch, up goes the referee. Robert Peeling's first game officiating Kettering. And had quite a quiet game, really, the referee. Just a one booking for Forsyth, rather harsh. But, keeper gets us back underway. It goes out towards Glennon, and Harborough get the ball away to Dolman. Dolman comes off his chest, or should I say stomach, into the crowd over there. Be a throw into the Poppies. If they can, certainly with height, they're not going to beat Dolman, but they certainly should do for pace. And he seems to panic a little bit, but so far he's doing well as Barker trying to create something. It's a poor ball from him, cleared easily by Alexander Morris. It arrives at Glennon. He's got to work here because he's got Hickey bearing down him, and a little header there, but intercepted by Lewis. Out to Barker. He finds Thanodge. Thanodge squares the ball to Forsyth. Back to Thanodge in the centre circle. Going forward. Plays it back to Lewis. Out wide this time to Connor Stanley. Stanley is Caroline in front of him. He robs him, and that's going to go, I think, for a corner. It is. Carline there could have done better, I think, with that. But he was letting it go for a corner. Hopefully that'll come off.
Well, let's hope the referee's whistle doesn't go when this one swings in, unless it's for a penalty, of course. We'll accept those gladly.
Well, Lobjolt once again. This time it's going to be an outswinger. Loza's on the edge here. It comes in here towards Glennon. He's gone over him. A push in the back there. Nothing given. It gives Harborough a chance to break. 3 against 2. 4 against 2 as Kettering come back in droves. Putman on this left-hand side into the centre there. It comes in. A chance here for a good interception by Stanley, stopping Arlott John from firing one in. And it'll be a Kettering Town throw-in on that far side. Did very well there, Stanley.
He did very well defensively, and then had the presence of mind to stop the ball running out for a Harborough throw. Flicks it off Arlott John, wins it for the Reds. Throw-in is to Glennon. Glennon at walking pace on the edge of his penalty area. Now switches it out, looking for Crowther. Crowther, good header. Finds York. York's got a bit of room to move into. He's got Putnam ahead of him now onto the edge of the penalty box. Where's York? Inside, but that's a bad pass. Only finds Carline on the edge of the box and gives Harborough a chance to break. And the referee lets that one go. It was a tackle on Arlott John. So the Poppies back in possession with Lewis. Lewis twizzles around Walsh. Walsh out to Connor Stanley. Stanley breaking in field onto his right foot. 1-2 with lob jolt, but good job, good defending there from Hickey. Hickey then gets fouled, and that will be a free kick to Harborough.
Yeah, the ball from York there, and loads have been booked.
No, I think it was Thanodge.
Thanodge goes in.
Descent.
Yeah. The ball, though, from York a few moments ago was criminal, really. He did all the hard work, trying to square the ball into Loza and just gave the ball away, and Harborough came away. But second poppy goes into the book. Free kick to Harborough Town. Out comes Elliot Taylor to take it just near the centre circle. And it's the Harborough fans in full voice in the sunshine. Kettering fans rather quiet as the ball comes over and goes out of play.
Just looking at the remaining possible substitutions. We've got centre half Ando, of course. Shane Flynn as a left back, but with Connor Stanley on, I can't see it. He'd probably come into midfield if we need him. And Oppong, of course.
Oppong has the pace, doesn't he? He's taken a few knocks as a youngster.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't come on at some point in this second half.
I think probably Barker would be the replacement if that's the case, as the ball is played out wide to York. It goes off O'Sullivan even. O'Reilly
Builders.
There's a fault there somewhere, isn't there? We are Orley men, as the ball is back with Forsyth. Knees it down to Glennon on the far side. 65 minutes of this game have gone. Ball pumped forward towards Lobjolt. Up goes the flag. The official down here getting a little bit of encouragement from the Kettering fans who don't believe that was correct. How you can tell behind the goal, I do not know, but there we go. No, Kettering next week in the FA Cup at Long Eaton. Drew there in the league a couple of seasons ago, 2-2. Luckily drawing 2-2, if I remember correctly. The referee now coming over to the...
oh dear, this is worrying.
This looks worrying. It's like there could have been something said. Football is being ruined by statements from fans and... no, the referee going over to the head of security who's down there, Mark Bray. Something has been said about the official. And every game this season, there seems to be something said by a fan somewhere, and the game is having to be stopped. It's absolutely right, but absolutely ridiculous that if this goes on, no game will finish without people saying something to people that they don't like. And all three officials are down here now. The game has been stopped. While that's happening, they're all taking fluids. So, not sure what's happening, but Mark Brace has... so our stadium announcer has been asked to go down onto the pitch to take... looks like there's been a racial slur by all accounts down here. And once again, every game so far that has happened.
Yeah, it's happening too much in in football, and it's happening too much at Latimer Park. Let's be honest. We can be critical about other grounds that we travel to and some comments, but we have to make sure our own house is in order, and that comment certainly came from the Kettering fans.
Social, racist, or any discriminatory behaviour is not acceptable and will not be tolerated. Should we say social racist or any other discriminatory behaviour Saturday Ross Hansford, please report at social unspeakable. We do not accept racism in the Kettering Town Football Club. And anyone back here to this will down to Blackman Park for life.
So, same announcer Lee has just announced about the racial slurs, etc. And the game has still been stopped. So, as I say, this is happening more and more in football. And I'm not sure what's going on here at the moment, but I don't know if there's a fourth official, if the official down here is going to carry on or not. But
I think they're
all three down here. I'm not sure what the referee's going to do here, Gary. This looks unprecedented, really, doesn't it?
well, it is. If the assistant said I'm not prepared to carry on, then
security is down by the tin hat. Look, there's quite a few of them down there. There are stewards in that. In the tin hat. But I don't know if this game is going to carry on or not at the moment. The official doesn't look happy, does he, down here? And this is quite a delay.
Yeah, we have been having a drinks break at the same time, but we're...
He's shaking his head, is the official down here. And if he says he's not going to carry on, then the referee has to abandon the game. And he's not carrying on. Well, I've never seen this before at our level, or any level, really. He doesn't look happy at all, does he? The official.
The linesman's definitely indicated.
Lowe's just coming over to have a word with him. But Simon Holyhead and Mitch Austin are out there. Nothing they can do. But unless there's another official that's willing to take over, this game, for all intents and purposes, could be over. And everyone now listening to what the official is saying. Connor Kennedy's there. Ben Stevens is there. Thanodge, Loza. Mitch Austin's come in here, but this is a long, long delay. But he doesn't look happy. And Lob Jolt and Mitch Austin having a laugh. Well, unbelievable.
Yeah, thought we'd be here commentating about a football match, but this has definitely taken a dark turn for the worst, and there's no doubt about it that the assistant has made it quite clear that he's not prepared to carry on, and I don't think, to be fair as well, he's just identified a segment of the crowd which is at the tin hat end. It's not as though he had a particular individual that we could actually take any action against.
Well, they have to be 100% sure if they are going to eject somebody. That is the person that obviously came out with the slur. But at the moment, we haven't got a clue what's going on here. And the official down here, and it looks like the officials are coming in. I'm not sure. Mark Brace down there is talking to said official. Referee is listening on. It's well, this has disrupted play. It might do Kettering a favour if once they get back to it, because they haven't been performing too well in the game. But we'll have to wait and see. This is, I'm saying, if you just joined us, you're missing nothing at the moment, as there's been a long stop in play due to something that's been said by someone in the crowd to one of the officials, and he's really unhappy about it. Another fan down there is shaking his hand and trying to console him, but must have been something quite nasty for this to have occurred in the way that it has. We're still waiting to get anything official, but looking at there is no fourth official. So I suppose it depends on if he wants to carry on or not, Gary. And if he doesn't want to carry on, game over, boys.
Yeah.
Get Kev Meikle over from New Zealand.
Kev, if you're listening,
Want to come over, Kev, and
transport yourself over here, it would be
come over here and
well, welcome.
don the
but,
uniform. Well, everybody's over this side now. For it to be stopped this long for a racial slur says to me the game won't go ahead. But we've got to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean the big clue will be if they go down the tunnel. That'll be that. But at the moment, they're still at the side of the pitch.
The lob jolt is coming in.
Talking with
I think he's had enough.
amongst themselves with security.
Well, the players are going back to the various sides of the pitch, and that doesn't necessarily say that the official is going to carry on. I think they're trying to cajole him. Referee just patted him on the back. That looks encouraging. No doubt there'll be a huge fine for this. When will these dopey fans realise that they can't come out with statements like this anymore at football matches? Looks like the game is going to carry on. All the playing staff have gone to their various sides of the ground. We're still waiting to see what's going on. The three are still talking down here. Thumbs up, just seen from the referee. He's having a word with assistant manager, so it looks like the game will go ahead. There'll be an enormous amount of time added on. I'm not sure how long we've had break in this.
Well, it was
About 10 to 15 minutes.
yeah.
At the moment, there's going to be a late game.
It seems
if it
seems
goes
longer because we've just been rabbiting about.
No change there, then.
Yeah, well, I know, but we normally rabbiting about football. But
I don't know, Ed and I had about 3/4 of an hour at Darlington once when the floodlights went out and we'd gone live and couldn't not stop it. So, but this it's very serious indeed, to be fair.
it is.
And you can't condone what's gone on here. And if people do know who it is, they should alert the relevant authorities.
That's the other thing, because you must, somebody would have been standing next to somebody who would have heard the comment, and they would have known in that location who said it. And it's up to the fans to do the right thing. And even if it's somebody that you still need to do the right thing, because this is unacceptable.
I can understand frustration and when things aren't going your way and you come out, but you still have to be very, very careful in this society now in what you say. And obviously what was said has been serious. Mark Brace is going over to the tin hat and talking to the stewards over there. Well, the teams are back on the pitch. The referee is back on the pitch. Both officials have got the flags. So it does look like it's going to continue. This is going to amount to a nice fine. So if they do eject the person that said the racial slur, make them pay for it. Because this will be a large one. Well, still waiting. Mitch Austin out there. Simon Holyhead out there. They're both going over now to the official. Here comes Simon Holyhead. Extraordinary scenes here at Latimer Park. A good 15-minute delay, I would say now. Thumbs up from Holyhead, who just acknowledged the three officials. Never know, we might have to play behind closed doors at some point in the future.
Well, we had that, of course, didn't we, in 2020, 2021, for different circumstances. But
that's everybody, though, wasn't it?
Indeed.
But
that was bad enough. But it'd be even worse if it was a diktat because of some idiot, and that's exactly what we can describe them on. I could use a few more choice words as well, but as I say, we've had too many instances over the last few years.
Last few weeks.
Last few weeks, indeed.
The ones that weren't reported at Real Bedford, if people hear about them, it'll be interesting. But
yeah,
there were some unsavoury incidents that happened there, believe me. And at the end of the day, it's the club that gets fined. And when you want improvements being made at the ground or signings being made at the ground, when you're paying out £10,000 in fines for various issues, it takes a dent in the profits that you make. And they're still talking about things down here. And they're still looking at the tin hat, the three officials. Director of Football's down there as well. Security are down there. We could all guess what was said, I would have thought, but the official in general is looking over there with daggers, isn't he? They're all going over now. Phil Wade's down there with
George
and
Fabian as well.
Fabian, owner and director of football, going over. We've got Mark Brace over there. And, well, I must confess, I've never, on commentary, seen this happen before.
No.
Don't want to see it again, to be honest.
No,
we come to watch football and take it from there, not have to deal with issues like this. Wes York going over to the said official, shaking his hand. And they seem okay.
I think Phil's over there at the moment trying to explain a little bit more of what was said, and maybe trying to find out who said it. But George Fabian all over there as well. And I just hope we do able to identify the individual concerned. Anyway, there is going to be a substitution before we get back underway, and it's going to be for the Poppies. I think it's going to be the number Poppy. Yeah, Crowther is leaving the field, and Shane Flynn is on. So Shane Flynn coming on for Archie Crowther. And Eddie Uppong is on for Brandon Barker. So 2 changes. Referee back in the middle, counting the number of players. Make sure it's still 11 v 11.
Well, Barker has been ineffective in the football that has been played. There could be an enormous amount of time added on here because the official scoreboard's still going. We're at 80 minutes. But it's going to have to be around 15, 20 minutes or so, I would think, of time added on. I don't know if Malk's board goes up that far, does it? But there's certainly going to be a lot of time added on for this. And we're finally going to get back to what we're here for, playing football, which will result in a free kick to Harborough. And, well, large talking point, but we're back underway here playing football. It goes off George Carline for a goal kick, I think. No, it's a throw-in, sorry, right at the edge of the other half. Flynn takes it, gets it back to Lewis, back to Flynn. He's replaced Crowther, and Uppong has replaced Brandon Barker. Ball comes over, Wes York is there, it comes off Brady Hickey, goes for a goal kick. Forsyth collects it. You have to bear with us with the times because
that was 16 minutes plus normal stoppage time to.
There's going to be a late one. Which side has been disrupted most? There could be a goal here. That should have been 2-0. And
what a golden chance for Hickey that was.
Was a golden chance. A real mess defensively from Kettering. Hickey got around just outside the 6-yard box and drilled his shot into the side netting. Alexander was beaten, but again, it came from nothing.
Yeah, exactly. That was very lax, though, from the Poppies, and Hickey really should have scored, and we've dodged a bullet with that one. But Kettering have gone back to a flat back 4 with the with Flynn on as left back, Wes York at right back. And lob jolt in the central area. Looking for options on his left foot. Finds Flynn. Flynn out to the left-hand side with Alfie Lewis. Lewis forward to Stanley. Stanley, quick touch to Flynn, but he loses the ball. And Walsh picks it up in the midfield area. Being tackled well, though, by Thanodge. Poor ball by Lewis, intercepted by Putnam. Finds O'Sullivan on this near side, having a run at Wes York. Wes York does well, gets the body in the way, and wins the throw-in for the Poppies.
Throw-in then down by the corner flag on this left-hand side. York there is pinched about 10 yards. York back to Forsyth, not on for him, had to send it long, but arrives at Loza rather luckily. The Loza can't beat Putnam, knocked off the ball. Putnam does well, gets it to O'Sullivan. Comes off York. That will be a throw-in to Harborough, who seemed quite fired up after the long delay. Putnam then with the throw-in. Finds Newton. Newton and York battling it out. It's back to Putnam. Puts a long ball towards the back post. There's Hickey, gets the ball down. Glennon has to hand out for a corner. Alexander there wasn't shouting any odds, I don't think. He should have probably come out and got that. It gives Harborough a chance to put more pressure on the Poppies.
Yeah, Harborough have definitely made a better start than the Poppies after the restart.
They have.
Sharper.
We're into the 85th minute of this game, but there's at least a quarter of an hour extra to add on to that, I would think, due to the long delay. And no doubt there'll be a big fine imposed on the Poppies from that action. Corner then on the far side for the Leicestershire side. It comes in, back post. Comes in here. Great save from Alexander. That would have been two. Brilliant save from at the near post. And that goes out for a corner. Came off at Carline, who got a head to it. And up went the arm to palm it away.
Yeah, very good save by Alexander. At least he's still alert as far as the Poppies are concerned. And he had to be there to push that effort away from Carline at the back post. Another corner coming up, though, for Harborough.
Yeah, since the stoppage, Harborough come out the traps. Kettering seem very sort of lacklustre. They have been all game, to be fair. Haven't really created anything where Harborough have. Comes in low. Lob jolt gets a foot to it. And there is Arlott John plays it out wide to Walsh. Can he get the ball over? Walsh out of play that was. And good work from the official on the far side. Flag went up. Ball out quickly by Alexander to Flynn, who can't get the ball away. He got trapped in his feet, but does well. Still going forward. He finds Lewis. Back to Flynn. Flynn fouled, but play on, says the referee. And Loza, can he get by? Loza's in the penalty area here. Loza comes in and no penalty. Loza lost his footing, really, and then went down. No penalty. Good refereeing, actually. He let the foul carry on. But Loza, I think he hurt himself falling there. It's very, very hard is the ground with no rain. A bit like falling on concrete. And Taylor just boots the ball out of play. So throw into the Poppies. In the second half, I can't think Kettering have had anything on target at all, have they?
No efforts at all.
So Harborough have done a very good job on them. A free kick to Kettering. Of course, there's still a long time to go. 20 minutes or so to go in theory, even though the clock says 86.
Yeah, there'll be at least 20 minutes extra, Paul.
So Glennon, an awful free kick to nobody except their goalkeeper. But all the signs we saw early doors for Kettering in the first 4 games have dissipated in this one. And Simon Harleyhead will have seen a different side to his side at the moment. The changes haven't reacted. There has been a long delay, admittedly, but not a good game for the 2,090 that are in here. If you're from Kettering, if you're from Harborough, you're loving it, obviously. But still time, though, as Lewis plays the ball onto a Harborough player for throw-in. Seems to be no urgency out there, though, does there? Just seems...
No, it's just carry on, really, from the first half. They just don't look sharp. Again, there, Lewis just couldn't control a simple ball and loses it. But Flynn's done well to win it back. Feeds Lewis. Lewis, again, that was a poor pass, but Lovejock did well to let it run through to York. Now Lovejock picks the ball up himself, running forward, but easily intercepted by the Harborough defence, and they'll be looking to break away now with Newton. But he goes back to Putnam, hoists it forward to O'Sullivan, but he can't control it. Glennon, it's a poor ball forward. Connor Kennedy jumps into the back of Alfie Lewis. A robust challenge, what we're used to seeing from Connor Kennedy. Just a free kick. And a substitution for... Can't quite see. It's going to be for the visitors.
Looks like, is that Kelly Evans or Jutri Burgess? I'm not sure.
Justal Burgess, who is going to be entering the field. And it's Arlott John who's leaving the field.
Now, Arlott John has been quite a thorn in that first half, especially creating the goal for Danny Newton. And it is a free kick to Kettering. Forsyth over the ball, just a yard inside the Kettering half in the centre of the park. We're at 90 minutes on the clock, but there's going to be a tremendous amount of time added on for the incident that delayed the game for so long. I'm waiting to see. Malk has got the board already. Not sure how far that goes up minute-wise, but Lobjolt has the ball. Plays it out wide to to York. He plays it to Forsyth. Forsyth back to Glennon on the far side. Glennon allowing it to bounce. Not a lot on for him, though. He finds Lewis. It's back to Thanodge, though, in Kettering's half. And he finds Loza. Loza to Lewis, out wide to Stanley. Stanley, Flynn overlapping if he wants to use it. Stanley gets a corner out of this. No, it's a goal kick. Looks like it came off the Harborough player, but obviously it didn't.
No, it just overran it. Another example of the touch of the Kettering players not being right. And we will now be seeing former Poppy entering the field. Devon Kelly Evans on that far side. Number 17 is coming on.
17 minutes of time added on, by all accounts.
And it's Walsh, number 7, that's leaving the field. So welcome back, Devon Kelly Evans.
17 minutes time then added on, plenty of time to get an equaliser. If only Kettering could get something on target, it might help. But at the moment, being stuffed out for everybody, Harborough doing a very, very good job on Kettering. And Kelly Evans coming on. Make another poppy against his former side as Burgess gets the ball on the far side. Little back flick to him, but only finds Glennon. Glennon squares it to Wes York. York to Forsyth. Forsyth to York. York. Poor ball from him, cut out by Hickey, robbed by Lewis. Lewis, nowhere to go. Has to play the ball back to Forsyth. Forsyth. Back to Glennon. Glennon. We've got Flynn on the hugging the byline on the far side. Stanley in front. He's onside, I think. Arrives at Thanodge. Out wide to Flynn. Flynn sends it long for Stanley. Puts the ball in here. It arrives at Lobjolt. He can't turn quick enough. He's got the ball, but the chance has gone. tries a shot to curler. And that just goes over. That's, I think, the first shot Kettering have had in the second half.
Yep, no work for Taylor as it stands anyway.
Yeah, that just went over. If he could have got his shot away earlier, I think. So Taylor then with the goal kick. So if you've just joined us, it's a little bit depressing news from Latter Park. 1-0 down, 17 minutes of time added on due to a problem in the ground with a racial slur, we believe. So where's York, though, with the ball? Plenty of time for the Poppies to get something out of this game. Just need that one magical moment. The ball is with Thanodge. On that far side to Flynn. It doesn't reach him. It's hoofed out away. If only Oppong could get the ball. You never know. Hit that wonder goal at Royston. Certainly has the ability as Flynn gets a head in, but it's a slice by the Harborough defender, but it's gone Harborough's way again as Connor Kennedy gets a ball to it, a foot to it, should I say. There is Thanodge sending it to a chance for Oppong. He's not going to reach him, though. It's an aimless ball as O'Sullivan is away, being chased by Thanodge, by Lobjolt, who brings him down. So 3 minutes gone of time added on. So it's got one of those feelings about this game, I think, the longer it goes on.
Well, we've not looked like scoring a goal. It doesn't mean to say that we won't score one, but there's been no indication of one. I'll say it's been a really disappointing performance, you have to say.
Yeah, 2,091 in here. There's only 400 or so from Harborough that will be enjoying this at the moment, as Stanley's on the far side. He's gone over the halfway line, nobody with him. He's trying to outpace the number 6 Morris. He's still with Stanley. Green's inside. Stanley still going. Lovely work. We push the ball over. Blocked, though, in the end, but fantastic work by Connor Stanley. And throwing Flynn to Connor Stanley again. Flynn. Got Loza with him. Loza back to Flynn. Flynn puts the ball in. It's a poor one. Dolman gets it away. Arrives at Burgess, who keeps it in. He does well. Burgess has got the number 10 in front of him. It cut out by Forsyth. Forsyth gets it to Thanodge. Thanodge sending it long for Oppong. Can Oppong sprint there? But it's a poor ball, giving him no chance whatsoever. And it arrives at Elliot Taylor. So ball is with Burgess, puts the ball in and he fires one in straight at Alexander. Thanodge loses the ball to Kelly Evans, gets it to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan out wide to Newton. Newton to O'Sullivan. Push there, nothing given by the referee as Forsyth brings the ball away to Thanodge. Harborough fans apoplectic about that, and probably rightly so. I thought it was a foul. But away goes Lewis for the Poppies. And Stanley falls over at the vital time, giving Harborough a chance as Burgess looks a bit like a live wire. Gets it to Kelly Evans, out wide. And there is Flynn mopping up, gets the ball to Glennon. Out wide to Stanley, but he can't control it. It comes off Danny Newton for a Poppies throw-in.
Yeah, I'm going to go and check. Come back with the play. Rangers man of the match. What?
Flynn. And it goes out for Harborough throwing on the far side. Well, time We had about 6 minutes or so of time added on, 11 to go, I would think, something like that. And so we've got it on there, yes. So
7 gone.
7 minutes gone, 8 to go. 9 to go, 10 to go. But at the moment, though, Kettering aren't producing anything worthwhile that you're going to say. We can see where our goal is coming from, as Ben Stevens is about to come on for Harborough, leading goal scorer of last season. And have to say, so far, a very disappointing display. Some of the Kettering fans, well, they can't leave, can they, unless they can they get out or not? I thought they're being kept in while have to wait and see. But some of them are moving around to get ready to leave.
So Hickey's leaving the pitch. Ben Stevens is coming on.
Yeah, Hickey, the wonder boy from Barwell, has spent many a season there. A target for Kettering many seasons ago, but never materialised. Ben Stevens coming on, who hit a wonder goal for Kettering and has scored against Kettering for Kings Lynn and last season too at Harborough in that New Year's Day game. And it's a long throw going to be by Harborough, deep into time added on. Dolman can't get there. Alexander's pushed in the back, but he gets it quite easy. Bowls the ball out to Oppong. Can he control it? Oppong, no, he can't. And he's knocked off the ball by O'Sullivan. Wasn't a foul. Just sheer physicality of them both. Referee telling York to go back to Forsyth. Forsyth from the throw-in. Squares it to Glennon. Glennon out to Flynn. Flynn can't get the ball away. It's blocked by Newton. Throw been taken quickly. Back to Glennon. Need to be in the Harborough half, really. But that isn't happening too much as Thanarge gets it to Loza. Loza this time to Flynn. Trying to find Stanley. Does so. Good ball from him to Flynn. Flynn out to wide to Stanley. Stanley comes in. Stanley can get the ball over. It's a poor ball, but it goes away for a corner. Well cut out by Dolman, actually. But,
yeah, Dolman, he's using his mouse positional sense there.
It all depends on what delivery we're going to get from these set pieces. They've been pretty woeful so far from set pieces. Is there going to be another late goal for Kettering? Who seem to specialise in a short one to... We've got the return back as Loza puts the ball in here. It's hoofed away easily, though. And York stretching for the ball. It's back in his own half, having to turn as O'Sullivan's chasing him down. Gets the ball to Oppong. Oppong got John Kennedy in front of him. Ball through to Lewis, but out to Thanarge. It's cut out again. Desperate defending from Harborough, but it's working out for them quite nicely. Flynn squares it to Forsyth. Forsyth into Lewis. Lewis out to Flynn. Flynn. And a foul on him, or he's gone down. I don't think it was a foul. I just think it's gone for a throw-in. So, ball into Lewis to Forsyth. Forsyth trying to find a Pong. Not going to get there. It's headed out. And that's just to a foul, again, rather harshly as the Harborough player lays on the floor. Wasting time, obviously. It's O'Sullivan doing that. And eventually the free kick will be taken. Well, we're getting into the... we've got the keeper coming out to take this free kick. Next week, on Saturday, we will be... Not next week, this week, in fact. We will be at Long Eaton in the first qualifying round of the FA Cup, the Emirates FA Cup. See if we can increase our 923 goals even further. And ball has been taken. And Ben Stevens can't keep that one in. It goes away for a throw-in down by the corner flag. And some of the fans are departing, and the Kettering stewards keeping them away from the away fans. Forsyth on his own baseline sends it out wide to Flynn. Flynn has got Stanley with him. Flynn Plays it to Stanley, chests it down, does well, does Stanley. Trying to get the ball to Flynn, but it gets back to Thanodge. Thanodge to Loza. Loza not going to arrive at Opong. Yes, it is. Opong goes one way, goes the other. Gets it to Lewis, to Thanodge. Thanodge finding Loza. There's a bit of a clash between O'Sullivan and Opong off the ball, but in comes Stanley, but he can't do much with it. The ball is with Thanodge. Into the area to Loza. Loza. He's found Lewis. Feeds it in to, there's a slip there at the vital moment from Lewis and hooked away by Harborough. Alexander trying to stop this from going out. He can't. It's a throw and he takes it. Gets it to Forsyth. Forsyth finds lob jolt. Puts the ball in, but it's not going to reach anybody in red. Does arrive at Thanodge in the end, who heads it back to Lewis, out wide to Flynn. Flynn, nobody in the box at the moment. Loza's there. It's arrived at lob jolt. It's blocked and goes out for a corner. Everybody thought that was going to hit the back of the net, but good defending again by Harborough.
Yeah, Connor Kennedy was with a wonderful block. Otherwise, we might have been getting an equaliser late on. And the Harborough making a substitution. The substitute wasn't ready though, which is why the Kettering fans are a little bit upset about that. And it's the substitute who's been substituted. Burgess obviously taken a knock.
Well, Malone is coming on, isn't he? I think, is he for
James Taylor?
James Taylor, is it?
Yeah, 14 is coming on. He was indeed the singer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a singer.
Like a
He's
defender.
still alive, isn't he?
He is still alive, and he's going in there in defence, a bit taller than Burgess, who's only on the park for about 10 minutes, if that. So we're at getting near the critical time of the game. What can Kettering conjure up? Not a lot from that, as Stevens hoofs the ball away. Alexander, the only man in Kettering's half the minute, chests it down. Alexander plays it out wide to Wes York. Wes York to Opong. Opong on this right-hand side has got O'Sullivan in front of him. Comes outside of him, then inside, trying to trick him. Can't beat three of them, though. And he's got nobody with him. Shows his frustration as Kelly Evans sends it long for Stevens. There is York. And he's under a bit of pressure from Stevens. Gets the ball back superbly to Alexander. As Flynn now has a chance to break forward. Flynn on the far side. Got Stanley out there on the wing. Who he uses. Stanley, though, has to track back. Gets the ball to Forsyth in the centre. Forsyth looks up, going into the Harborough half. Can only be around 4 minutes or so of the game left. As York going forward. This is always a decent time for Kettering in the final throes of a game to snatch a goal. And boy, do they need one this afternoon. As Flynn trying to find Stanley. He loses the ball as Newton then loses it to Flynn in return. And then it's back with Stanley. Stanley finding Lewis. Lewis and Flynn goes down. There's a push in the back there on Loza. There is Thanodge, gets the ball out wide to Flynn. Flynn puts the ball in. A chance here for Lewis. Puts the ball in and a poor shot as Lewis lofts the ball over the goal.
It's kind of Stanley actually with his right foot.
No, another one not on target. I don't think Kettering have had a shot on target in this second half. They've had two over the bar. But time running out now. If you just joined us, there were 17 minutes of time added on due to a problem in the ground, which no doubt will have repercussions from that. It looks like that Harborough look like Kettering's bogey team to a certain extent in the league. And going to leave here with all 3 points unless something fantastic happens in the final few moments of this game. But Harborough done a magnificent job of snuffing out Kettering's advances, making them almost the away team in many respects on the pitch. Support-wise, I suppose they've really sung well. You'd expect that with being 1-0 up. It's Forsyth now going forward. Forsyth sending it long, but it's a poor ball. Dolman gets a leg to it, finds Kelly Evans, chests it down, but there is Lewis, and he beats him to the ball. Loza, can he turn? He can, does well under pressure, gets it back to Lewis. Lewis finds Lobjolt in the centre. Flynn's out wide on the left-hand side. Flynn, can he get the ball over? He can, but nobody there. Keeper kicks it out instead. I thought he might collect that, but it's out with Flynn again. Flynn, can he get the ball over? No, he can't. It's with Loza. This time to Thanodge. Back to Loza, who chests it down. It spins on his head. He gets it down on his feet. Loza, left foot, he puts the ball in. There's a chance here. No. Chance comes in. What a save on the line. The first one on target from Lewis. And it went through a crowd of players. There was Taylor clutching at that on the line. That was the chance.
That was the
chance. That was the chance.
12 yards out.
It was a good placement shot. Out comes Alexander. Bowls the ball out. Thanodge racing down there. Thanodge plays it out wide to Oppong. We're in the final moments of the time added on as Oppong, left-footed, puts the ball in. A flick on by Loza. Slice away. Only Stevens up front, but Stevens is no mug, trying to lob Alexander. But in doing so, lobs the ball out of play. Doesn't matter. That's more seconds off the clock. And we're about 20 seconds away from the 17 minutes.
Yeah, that was a great chance, from Lewis, 12 yards out. He struck it well, but straight down the middle where the goalkeeper was. Sums up Kettering's afternoon.
Thanodge going forward. Bets it out to Eddie Oppong. Oppong now. Can he do anything with this? He's going one way, going the other. Beat himself twice, gets the ball back, goes again. Nobody with him. Then he's knocked off the ball. Good work from Putman. And there goes the whistle. It's all over. A pretty abject performance from the Poppies results in defeat here at Latimer Park. And the winning sequence is all over. Harborough, the better team, it has to be said. And they come out with a 1-0 win. That has upset the apple cart. And food for thought for Simon Holyhead after that performance. All credit to Harborough. And that's it from myself. I'll leave Gary to sum up. And we'll see you at Long Eaton next week in the FA Cup.
Yeah, reality check here this afternoon at Latimer Park, it has to be said. The better team won on the day. We'll get the views of Simon Holyhead and get that out online as soon as we can. But to sum it up very quickly, a disappointing afternoon on the field and off the field. Goodbye from Latimer Park.